Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our recap of Army Navy week slash semifinal slash quarterfinal week. I think I called the last podcast Interregnum week,
I don't.
which is a choice.
I had to look that up. I was like,
The
I didn't know what interregnum meant
the
off the
king is
top of my
dead.
head.
Long live
So
the king.
Ellen of the King. The other one that I thought of doing was calling it Sede Vacante week, which is the time in between popes where there's a vacant seat.
Mhm.
That would have been my other choice there. I get too cute on this shit when I'm like trying to name it on the fly.
So wait, does that mean we habemus a popem?
Yes, habemus papam. We need
Dude,
to.
can we put like smoke in the podcast?
That's what I was trying to think of.
I
Like,
was just
oh,
like, how do
fuck.
we put? Is it white smoke? Or I mean, have we named
Yes,
one,
it's
or is it black smoke? We have
It's
not
white
named
smoke.
it.
White
It's
smoke
white
when it's
smoke.
named.
I know,
Yeah.
but I mean, in this podcast has well, I mean, they named the Heisman, so I would say
That
white
is.
smoke.
Oh, we should have. They
Okay.
should have done that with the Heisman
We should have
voting.
done with the Heisman
Yeah.
vote. Yes.
We burned the special couch. It's white
Because
now.
when they do, yeah, when they hire a new West Virginia coach, the white smoke comes from the couch. They add a special chemical to make it burn white.
Right.
Have you ever actually
But-
burned a couch,
Yes.
Commish?
Me? No,
Yeah.
I have not. No, I have not like really gone into the crazy. No, I haven't really burned anything unique. I guess it was too wet in New Orleans. What is damp may never dry.
That is true. It's, yeah.
That's what it is in New Orleans. In Monroe, it's about the same. So
Yeah, it's not so much the burning of a piece of furniture, it's the rolling of said flaming furniture down Sunnyside Hill. That's really
Yeah, that's the fun part.
yeah.
It's when things that are on fire and that are moving. The reason that I remember, like, that I've burned a couch before. One that was not supposed to be flammable because in my fraternity house they made us buy things that were inflammable. What's the not flammable?
Asbestos.
Yeah, but surprisingly, if you pour enough alcohol and things soak into couches, they become flammable. We definitely burned some couches in our backyard in a fire pit that was not built to code.
I know at least for a while, I'm not sure if it still is, but outdoor furniture like couches was illegal in Morgantown for quite some time.
Huh.
As they attempted to make it harder to do this. I've also heard apocryphally that if you happen to have a student ID, it is difficult to buy furniture in certain areas of Morgantown.
I can imagine.
But yeah.
The idea of opening up a furniture store in Morgantown that just exists to sell things to light on fire, like setting up. You know how you go outside, a championship game, and all of a sudden you walk outside and people are hawking like championship gear, like out of their their boxes. I want that, but I just want to show up outside games with like chairs and couches.
You would be extremely popular.
I think so.
the cheapest particle board tables you can find,
Yeah.
just sell them. Yeah. Maybe have an ad sponsored by like Wayfair or something like that. They could supply you with the cheapest crap they have
Right.
and just sell it for a slight markup.
You assume someone outside of like Buffalo Stadium has to be selling tables to jump through. No one, everyone shows up with a table. Someone there has to be selling a table to jump through. So when you get there, you forget yours.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, you forget to bring your table. It would be a great service. I don't know how much money you can make, but this feels like the idea of trying to do the Chick-fil-A on Sunday sandwich thing. But
Commish, tell me about your Christmas light experience.
so, okay, 3 years ago, I was trying to put up lights on like the gutters, and my ladder gave way and I fell. It's only like a one-story house, so it wasn't like a big fall, but I hurt my back for a bit.
That's enough of one, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I was almost to the top of the ladder when it fell. I kind of caught myself, and I fell, and hurt the back. This neighbor lady passed by walking her dog, seeing the string of lights hanging from the gutters, the ladder down, and me on the ground, just kept walking. Like nothing. Like okay. Like seriously, she looked at me. We made eye contact.
Are you okay?
Nothing. Just kept walking. So I texted my wife. I was like, I fell off the ladder. I even I was laying on the ground and I took a Snapchat of the actual fall in the string and everything like that. Nothing serious, nothing broken. It was just like I bruised my back, which I was able to catch myself. So the wife was like, okay, if you do this again, don't get on the ladder. So I'm like, all right, I'm putting up some lights on the gutter again.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to this point where we have this Texas sage, which has just exploded on the side of our house. And I can't get the clips in like the little like pole that I'm using to put the clips onto the gutter. It won't stay. I can't get this to
Yeah.
stay, and it's frustrating me. And I mean, I have my kiddo right behind me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to get on the ladder. Like, there's no choice to do this. So I get onto the ladder. I make it like the third step up. I'm like, okay, this is not sturdy. And then I get a step down. Basically, the hinge of the ladder like twists and like
Mm-hmm.
falls down.
Oh
And I was
God.
able to like jump off and no injuries or anything like that. So I was just like, okay, I just broke my ladder. Now I have to figure out how to put up the rest of these lights. So I had like a smaller ladder, like a 4-foot ladder. This one was a 6-foot, which I used like a 4-foot, and I just stuck it against the house, like
Yeah.
flat, and climbed that way. And I was able to reach up around. I was tall enough to do that. So I was like, okay, never doing this again. So I'm like, okay, we need a ladder at the house now. So I went ladder shopping, and oh my god, ladders are so expensive, man.
They are.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, we had this like 6-foot ladder for I don't know. I feel like we had it when we bought it when we got the house. So maybe about 8 years old, we've had this
Mm-hmm.
ladder, and I think we didn't pay but like $40, and then now I'm looking for like a replacement ladder, and everything's like 80, 90 for the same size. And then there's like, if you want one that's even taller or does even more functions so you don't fall and almost kill yourself, it's like 150, like
Yep.
130. I'm like, what is, if I wanted to get the ladder they used to cut down the nets for March Madness, it was like $150.
Oh,
The
those
the
like
Werner ladder, the official
Yes,
ladder of the
the
NCAA
official ladder
tournament.
of the NCAA tournament. There
Just
was
really
one,
good job marketing, guys.
they did.
Really,
I
really,
mean,
really
they're
good.
so expensive. I mean, that's how they get you. You fall off ladders and you pay an arm and a leg so you don't break your arms and legs.
Jim Boeheim officially sweat next to this ladder one time.
exactly. Uh huh. So were these your A-frame ladders, or were these like the tilty ones against the house ladders?
So it's just like a standard like A-frame ladder. It wasn't
Okay.
anything like special. The only problem is like my yard is sloped. So
Okay.
the yard is sloped, and like right up against there's like a small section of, you could do it, normal spread out. But I was like, okay, whatever. I got a ladder. I used a gift card, whatever. I bought a new ladder. I
Nice.
I mean, this one seems to have so many more functions that I could ever imagine in a ladder.
Friends, for
Nice.
just pennies a day, you can help the commish not die by helping to join the Get the Commish a Cherry Picker Fund.
Yeah. Ooh, that's.
Ooh, a cherry picker.
I want to see little one with the controls at the bottom
Oh,
getting
okay. So you
you.
want my kiddo to drive the cherry
Yes,
picker
that's what.
with
Yeah.
me
That's
in
what I
it?
want to
Okay.
see.
Make sure you check for overhead power lines.
Not to make this like about like my college stories, but my fraternity house was in the front it's 3 stories, in the back it's 4 because the backyard is lower and you have access to the basement in the back. So to get anywhere on the front of that house, you have to use a ladder, but you have to use a lean ladder because there's no A-frame tall enough to get to the shutters on like the 3rd floor because it has these like nice old wooden shutters. Hold up, let me find a picture of the house. Okay, it's in that Discord.
Oh, wow.
So that's the house. Uh,
And that's
there's
a fraternity house?
yeah, that's my fraternity
Ooh,
house.
okay.
And so the 3rd floor is actually, you can't see it here because the 3rd floor is in the roof area, but it has windows to the back. The back of the house actually is, you can see 4 clear stories. But
Friends, Jordan's fraternity house is the house from Home Alone.
It
yeah,
does
it
kind
does
of
have
look
that
like
look.
that. Yeah, it does. It does. Rocking around
But you see those
the
beautiful green
Christmas tree.
shutters? Those green shutters are on every door. And as a pledge, my job was to paint those shutters, get them off, paint them, and put them back up.
Oh my
Those
goodness.
shutters are also doubled in the back.
Ah,
So you can imagine 8 of us, and let's be honest here, none of us were engineering majors. None of us were, it was like musicians and computer science and political science and Latin.
so
There are
I got
34 shutters that I can see
okay.
in this
That's what I was
picture.
like. I got 17 windows, 34 shutters in the front.
Yeah, and there's more on the side and more on the back.
Okay,
Ugh.
so if there's like a window, and then there's the 3rd floor. So on the first floor, is it all the same? You could almost see straight through the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's like, I'm gonna say maybe approaching 60 shutters or above.
It was a bad time, y'all. It was
It
a real
didn't
bad
seem-
time with me on that lean ladder because I swear to God, I thought I was going to die going up there and, feel like I was going to tilt off to the side. And that ladder is bowing in the middle because it's one of those that extends up like twice and then it starts bowing in the middle. So yeah, getting those things down. I fucking hate ladders. I've hated ladders ever since because of that.
My
So there we
favorite
go.
thing about this picture is the one window AC unit that is attempting to cool this entire place.
That the floor you're seeing there with the AC unit, those are all individual rooms. So that's just someone's like tiny ass little room. The apparently what the way it used to work was in this house, the first floor is this big open area, wooden area, with like our dance floor area. The second floor is very much individual rooms. Then the third floor is another big open social area. So apparently, what used to happen back in the day was that the second floor was actually for people's offices, but
Okay.
everyone slept together in bunks on the third floor. So you had like 30 dudes sharing bunks on the third floor.
Guys being dudes with bunk beds.
Yeah. And
Oh.
so that was weird times. That house has been up since like 1908. Like it's an old ass house.
Oh
It
yeah.
has to have some smells in it.
I can't just
Ugh.
I can't begin to describe the smell. Commish, you had carolers at a Christmas party?
So I went to one of my friends' house Saturday night, and we went to. We normally would do this before like the pandemic and everything. Maybe like 2 weeks before Christmas, we would kind of have like a friends Christmas thing. It was a fun thing to do. We go to this house in this neighborhood, and a friend, Wes, and see a couple of other friends, and just have a good time. We played like some Christmas games and everything like that. So we brought it back this year, and we went over to the house, and we're having a good time. Just relaxing, and we were waiting for some people to show up. So like there was like two people that were late. Whatever, show up whenever you show up. So the doorbell rings, and we open it up, figuring it's one of the two guests that have not arrived yet. No, it was about 20 to 30, like maybe high school kids saying that we're coming to carol for you. Personally, this is my first ever experience, like having somebody come to my house or the house that I'm in
Isn't
to
that awesome?
carol.
It's
To carol, and I'm like,
awesome.
it was great. I was like, okay, they're gonna start singing. This is great.
Huh?
Uh, then they started to ask for, what do you want us to pray for you? And I'm like, oh, this is a different type of caroler.
Okay, yeah.
Like, what do you want to? We could pray. You want some prayers? And I'm like, and everybody in the house is really not necessarily like. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say not overtly like. We couldn't think of anything to like say just health and happiness for the new year and the Christmas
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, let's go with the generalized prayer.
Give us
So
the vibes prayer.
the vibes prayer, yes, good vibes for everybody prayer. And so they start singing. My kiddo's there, and he's loving it. Everybody's having a good time. And then they get to the second song, and I'm wearing a Feliz Navidad shirt. And so they start singing Feliz Navidad, and then they throw me up front to the front door to watch all these carolers. So I got thrust in the front to have them sing Feliz Navidad.
Nice.
So I brought the kiddo with me. I was like, "Hey, you coming with me if I'm pushed up to the front?" And then we had after the second song, we're like, "Okay, bye." Just the awkward door closing. Yeah, the first time I've ever had carolers. I've done like Christmas singing for like you go to houses, or not houses, but like senior centers or like assemblies or something. I've done that, but I've never had like somebody just show up to a house and start singing, and it was on December 10th, so I feel like that's kind of early too.
That
It was
is
a
the
little
one
weird.
weird thing. Like that feels
Yeah.
very early in terms of just chancing, showing up and being like, "Hey, y'all in a Christmas spirit?" Just happen to like walk into a Christmas party. Before we get into things, I have a couple of Christmas Carol hot takes
Okay, let's
/
go.
pet peeves I want to get into here.
Let's go.
Perfect.
And well, first I want to see, Commish, do you have any
What do you mean?
songs
Like,
that I'm gonna say songs that you love, songs that you hate, songs that just you gotta have, songs that you think are just not.
I'm gonna do a typical New Orleans and Louisiana thing.
Mhm.
There is an album that my sister and I always play for Christmas. It is called An Aaron Neville Soulful Christmas. And
Okay.
that is the album that we annoy the ever living crap out of my mom with. It's one of our favorites. He has a couple of like original songs, and then he does like the classic, like the Oh Holy Night, the Christmas song, White Christmas, and then the Aaron
Yeah.
Neville voice of the White Christmas. It is just, I don't know, it's great for growing
Okay.
up in Louisiana. It's great. And then he has like a banger on there. It's called Louisiana Christmas Day. It's fantastic. As for songs like I don't like, there's a few that I will skip, but it's not like I hate them. Like if they come up on the playlist, I will just be like, I can't deal with that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you go back to retail, and I was like, just get this off. Like if it's a really bad like cover of the original, like
Yeah, I
get that
gotcha.
out of here. Like just go with the original, please.
There's always a version like you have in your head that is the version. There is a version of White Christmas in my head. If I don't get that version, I'm always a little suspect. Beth, do you have any Christmas music hot takes? Holiday music hot takes?
You know how dangerous this question is, and
I
you
that was
asked it
I
anyway.
assumed if I popped this open that I was gonna get some.
I am infamous for yelling about the 9 lessons in carols.
Mhm.
Hot take 1 from me.
Okay.
There are Advent carols and there are Christmas carols.
This
and
is the one.
they are not the goddamn same thing. Like if we're like we're gonna go Christmas caroling and you're pulling out O Come Emmanuel, you have missed it.
The reason actually I thought about this was because I sent Beth a question earlier this week about a song called Gaudete, and I asked, "Is it Christmas or Advent?" Because those are two very different things.
I think I responded almost embarrassingly fast.
It was great. I loved it. It was actually super helpful. Thank you.
So like that's hot take number 1. Hot take number 2. Joy to the World is not a Christmas song.
No.
Period. End of sentence. It is not. That is an ordinary time hymn.
Mm-hmm.
You can sing that whenever you want. It does not matter. It is not tied to the Christmas season. When I still had my church gig, my best friend and I loved slipping in Joy to the World all over the place.
Yeah.
Because we could, because we were allowed to. People would be like, what's going on? Is it Christmas? We're like, no, you're a narrow-minded and like non-hymnodist.
Yep.
That is hot take number 2. Hot take number 3 is that we need to bring back all of the old English carols that have no basis in theology whatsoever. Jesus Christ, the cherry tree, I'm coming for you. Adam lay e bounden. Let's do this thing. Like yeah, absolutely. Jesus Christ, the apple tree, the cherry tree carol, like all of these. Uh-huh.
My biggest ones, Beth got my first one, which was Christmas and Advent are two different things. And it's funny because I am non-religious, but I am the most orthodox person you've ever met in terms of liturgical music. The other hot Christmas carol takes I have are that I think that we need to be more open about new standards. I think we need to like bring in more like stuff, even if it's not like a material. Newer music needs to be brought in because we get stuck on this old 50s boomer stuff. And the third one is that one of my favorite songs that they don't play a ton is a song called Need a Little Christmas. It's from a musical that I can't remember the name of and that no one does anymore because you're right. Like I don't fucking know. It was a Broadway song, but the song itself is so good. I love it. And then my other big take is that we need to go back to doing
it's from Mame.
Oh, that's what it's from. Okay,
it's from Mame. Yeah, it's Jerry Herman.
And then the last one is that we need to go back and do all these like Baroque, old school 16th, 15th century. Like that's what I want.
I'm outnumbered here music wise. Like you two are like, and I'm struggling here, man. Y'all got me. You're talking about stuff, and I'm like, what's going on?
Commish, I'm just so excited. Once we get to Eurovision season this year, we're gonna like it's because those are 3-minute bangers. You're gonna love it.
Okay.
Oh, excited.
Right.
Beth,
so Commish, in the name of trying to bring you along with old carols. I want to give you some of the words of the Cherry Tree Carol. When Joseph was an old man was he. He married Virgin Mary, the Queen of Galilee. Joseph and Mary walked through an orchard good. There were cherries, there were berries, as red as any blood. So Mary spoke to Joseph, so meek and so mild. Joseph, gather me some cherries, for I am with child.
Yeah, you just unlocked something in the deep recesses of my Catholic mind that I've probably blocked. Yeah, I've heard that before.
You have?
Yes.
Because this is the part
like
where this hymn takes this song takes a turn.
Oh,
now.
it does. Oh, it does. Keep going.
Then Joseph grew in anger. In anger grew he. Let the father of thy baby gather cherries for thee. That's right. Joseph is calling God out in this carol.
What was this? This was some sort of, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I mean, I went to a all boys Catholic school, so it feels like a 5th or 6th grade memory to me.
Oh, I mean,
so it's kind of unlocking here.
Yeah, like this carol is one of my favorites just because it just goes bonkers. Because then Jesus, who, keep in mind, Mary is pregnant right now, so now Jesus is talking.
That's right.
loud enough for the author of this carol to hear.
Uh-huh.
Then Jesus spoke a few words. A few words spoke he. Let my mother have some cherries. Bow low down, cherry tree. Jesus, who is his own father, because the Trinity is really important, and we're not Arians in this particular
Yes, right.
carol. Right. The cherry tree bowed low down to the ground, and Mary gathered cherries while Joseph stood around. Then Joseph took Mary, all on his right knee. My Lord, what have I done? Have mercy on me. Then Joseph took Mary on his left knee. So he's just bouncing her, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Pray tell me, little baby, when thy birthday will be. On the 6th day of January, my birthday will be. So everyone, you're celebrating Christmas wrong.
Yeah, no, this is our 12 Days of Christmas issue, yeah.
Yep. And the stars in their elements will tremble with glee. And then it just keeps going. But yes, the old Christmas carols are amazing.
Beth, what are your synchronized lights about?
I know that people having synchronized lights to music or whatever is not all that surprising. This evening, I was driving through a particularly interesting little swath of rural West Central Pennsylvania. I was down in Everett, which for those people who have been to the Great Traffic Light in Breezewood, it's like 10 miles from there, tops. Everett is, there's about 1,700 people that live in Everett. Has a little tiny main street, and I'm driving down Main Street, and what I found were like 6 houses, 3 on one side, 3 on the other, that had synced their lights with each other.
What?
Yeah, like I
Whoa.
round the street, I'm driving through the smallest of small towns, and all of a sudden it's like I'm on Fremont Street. It was nuts.
That's amazing.
We have a neighborhood here in San Antonio. I think it's some called Windcrest. It's just like a small like municipality, and it's ridiculous. Like it seems 100 houses, and they just go all out. Like the traffic just to get into the neighborhood to see the lights is insane.
Yeah.
So it's something. That's what that reminds me of. But I mean, yours is
Okay.
in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
definitely freaked me out too. Like, wait, did I enter in a parallel universe here?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Let's do a little brief thing about the World Cup. We had our quarterfinal round, I guess you would call that.
Yes, the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. Morocco continues their absolute tear through the Iberian Peninsula. They have stopped at the Pyrenees, but they are ready to move north. They play France next, which ought to be an absolute banger. And then we had Argentina winning, going on to play against Croatia. Your Heisman curse was so bad, Commish. Like, this is worse than me trying to bet on Georgia Tech this year.
Like, I didn't even know, like, it had this power. I will just say this, to sweet. I'm watching the Croatia-Brazil game, and it's 0-0, right, after full time, and then they go to extra time. And then I see Neymar score a goal. I'm like, all right. And so I just jokingly put, Neymar has just had his Heisman moment, because, I mean, the Heisman was the next day on Saturday. So I tweet that, and then in the second half of extra time, Croatia ties it, and then Brazil winds up losing.
Yes, they did.
They wind up losing to Croatia. So I'm like, okay. Next game, it's Argentina and, the Netherlands, which first goal, like, I don't say anything. Argentina goes up 1-0. Beautiful pass by Messi. I could have tweeted it then, because, I mean, it's a pass and Heisman moment. Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Then, because I was a little sheepish what happened, I'm like, whatever. Then Argentina gets a very soft penalty. I'll say soft. Very soft penalty. And right on the edge of the box. It seemed very close to being a free kick, but they gave a penalty. Messi steps up for the penalty, and he buries it. So I'm like, Argentina's up 2-0. There's like 15 minutes left, probably like 30 minutes of added time too. I tweet, Messi has just had his Heisman moment. Then the Dutch sub on somebody called Wout Weghorst, which he immediately comes on, and within like a minute or two, he scores a headed goal. It's 2-1. So I'm like, uh-oh, okay, am I like cursing these outcomes here? And so I try to like hedge my bets here, and I was like, Wout Weghorst has just had his Heisman moment. And then Weghorst again, at like the last second of extra time, on the cheekiest free kick like pass ever.
Oh yeah, it was just
ties the game in like the last second of the 10th minute, the latest World Cup goal in regular time ever. in like just normal time ever to tie the game. And so I quote tweet again. I'm like, Wout Weghorst again. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. I have this power. I don't like what's going on. I am the Sickos commissioner. I don't know if just our tweets coming from the account are they automatically. It's almost like the Buffalo Wild Wings overtime switch.
Yep.
I guess I don't.
Mhm.
I don't know. So
You didn't ask for this power,
I
but
didn't
here
ask
we
for it,
are.
and I didn't think it was gonna happen. I'm like, I gotta be careful with this in the future. Argentina was able to win on penalties. They were able to go through. So I'm like, I guess maybe doing both sides kind of did that, or I don't know. But I was like, I'm trying not to show any favoritism whatsoever. And then the next game opportunity essentially was it was the Morocco and Portugal game. I
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
You
I,
you
I
were
just
so quiet.
I said, and I'm like, I can't tweet about the game. It's
Nope.
gonna affect the outcome. I saw the Morocco goal, and I was like, I am not saying anything. I am not tweeting anything. I'm not gonna do anything. I didn't want to say anything. And then once the game is over, I'm free to tweet. I'm like, okay, let's go. I don't need to say anybody had a
Mhm.
Heisman moment. Once the game was over, I said somebody had a Heisman moment. I think after the England and France game,
Mhm.
and they were just like, just stop. And then everybody below him was like, please stop. Like somebody said, please stop, and everybody below him just like ratioed him and said, no, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. So I didn't mean to cause this. I didn't mean to cause it. Did I make the World Cup sicko? Is the commissioner have that type of power? Maybe,
Maybe.
but maybe I don't know.
We'll do some quick recaps of some FCS games before we get into our bowl previews. The first was so Friday night was a lot of fun for a lot of reasons. The early game was the Samford North Dakota State game. The only real interesting thing here was that Samford was sluggish in the first half, but so was North Dakota State. Like they just couldn't get anything going. But then eventually, North Dakota State woke up after half and just decided to be North Dakota State.
Yeah, that was one where you just feel like Samford couldn't get anything going, but they were hanging in defensively.
Yeah.
But then they just broke in the second half. Like they just didn't have enough to hang with North Dakota State.
North Dakota State got behind in their tempo. They have a specific tempo they like to play in terms of getting these like three like run, and then run for that fourth and inches if they have to. It's almost like Service Academy football. But they got behind on it. They were losing yards and drives. It was kind of weird, but then it woke up. Going over to Bozeman, this is our 9:15 kick, I think, or 9 o'clock kick. It was one of the late ones.
Yeah,
William and Mary.
No, it was a 9:15 one. Yeah,
William and Mary went to Montana State and had a very bad night.
it
William
was.
and Mary just Montana State's real good, y'all. If you haven't seen them play, they're a lot of fun.
I think my
And it
favorite
did
tweet from that one was that William and Mary had 66 yards and Montana State had 55 points.
it didn't help that the sides of the stadium were still frozen. So you had these beautiful plays where whenever someone would get through the end zone, they end up doing like a whoop 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 whoop, like fall forward. There were a couple times when you saw William and Mary like defenders slam into each other because they couldn't stop on the sidelines.
No,
It was great.
they just had a really bad time. I feel like if William and Mary was playing somewhere else, maybe they would have played a little bit better. It was cold. It was below freezing. The field, like the first kick that William and Mary got, he went to return it and his foot slipped. And I'm like, uh-oh, the Bozeman turf, the turf monster's coming to get William and Mary. Because seriously, Bozeman, it appears to be haunted for any visiting teams.
Like I don't know if they have under turf heating there. I can't tell, but it looks just like they were slamming into concrete every time. It looked painful.
We got to see Cam Newton there supporting his brother who played for William and
Yes.
Mary. Cam Newton had on the orange face mask, ski mask type thing with his he had room for his glasses, and I think he had on an interesting hat. But that was weird to see Cam Newton in Bozeman, Montana. But that was fun. The sideline reporter Lauren Sisler, it was like 55-0, and she just started dancing on the sidelines. So just to I don't know, to keep herself warm, or I don't know if the students in Bozeman were giving her some things to liven her up. And
I hope
mean, she
so.
was she was dancing with the bobcat. It was a good time. I don't know, she called something what she was doing, the sideline shimmy.
This was on ESPN2, and they dumped another game on at the same time on ESPN Plus, where only like 10 people could watch it. And guys, this might have been one of the best games of the year. And unfortunately, several of us fell asleep early before we got to the fourth quarter. This was Incarnate Word at Sacramento State. Incarnate Word is still under the coaching of their current coach, who's going to be going to Texas State. Sacramento State was still under their current coach, who we now found out is going to Stanford. And this game ended up 66-63. It was an absolute bonkers game. It didn't end up raining, which was the key.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to rain. It didn't. So both teams could just do their usual thing. Sacramento State had over 700 yards and lost this game.
This game was just absolutely insane. I made it to like the fourth quarter, and I made it to, I'm trying to figure out exactly when. I remember the 64-yard touchdown to kick off the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then from there, I had it on in my phone again, which, again, I had the phone and I'm trying to tweet and follow along with it, which is a mistake because I know I'm going to fall asleep eventually, but I couldn't stay up much longer, but I got through that one. The fourth quarter was just absolutely insane. I cannot believe like this happened. So basically there were no punts. Were there any punts in the game? Okay, Incarnate Word had 3 punts. Yeah,
3 punts.
All right, that's it. Sacramento State didn't have any, and they still lost, which is another weird stat. I did the thread in the morning of all the bonker stuff that happened, because I fell asleep and then I woke up and I think it was like 3 a.m. Central, and I looked at the score and I thought my eyes were deceiving me. I thought the ZZ Quill or whatever I've taken knocked me out, caused something to happen. I have no idea, whatever. But I saw this and I was like, I blinked and I kept blinking. I'm like, I can't believe this is real. So I rolled over, went back to bed. I woke up in the morning. Oh my God, this really did happen. Absolutely amazing game. Sacramento State recovered 2 onside kicks in the fourth quarter.
That's the other thing. They recovered 2 onside kicks in the fourth and lost this game.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I just can't. And then apparently there was some sort of potential clock commanding by the now Stanford coach. I have to look back at it a little bit there to figure out what happened, because apparently he could have maybe made it to a field goal. Just imagine an overtime game going 66-66.
Jesus.
It could have happened. But this game was absolutely insane. If you have ESPN Plus, or if it pops up on like ESPN, just watch the fourth quarter and enjoy it. It was absolutely amazing.
I'm going to read the drive chart real fast, the combined drive chart for the fourth quarter of this game, okay? Touchdown, 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 fumble, touchdown, 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 end of game.
So that fumble was actually a touchdown for the other team. It was so crazy because I saw the play to put Incarnate Word up 11. It was 45-34. And I was like, there's no way Sacramento State's stopping them tonight. I don't think they can do anything. Little did I know that Sacramento State would go right back down. 7 plays later, score a touchdown, kick an onside kick and get another touchdown.
It was so, oh my God.
Then they kick it back to Incarnate Word. Then Incarnate Word gets a touchdown. Then they get the scoop and score. Then Sacramento State gets a touchdown. They get another onside kick, and they're leading with like 4 minutes left. Then Incarnate Word scores with, it's just...
They scored a combined 57 points in the fourth quarter.
What a game.
So then the next day happened.
Yes.
We had an early game, Holy Cross, South Dakota State. South Dakota State won. Holy Cross looked really good. Like they held up their end. They pushed South Dakota State to the max, basically.
I feel like there's a one missed field goal that Holy Cross had, and it was the beginning of the fourth quarter, the first play of the fourth quarter. Holy Cross, it was 21-21. They had a 39-yard field goal, then they missed it.
Yeah.
So from that point, I feel like that activated South Dakota State to just like, basically, we're not fucking around anymore. Holy Cross didn't score anymore, and the last 3 drives for South Dakota State was touchdown, 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 and then wound up doubling them up 42-21. They make that field goal. I'm not saying this, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, but you got to feel pretty good. You got to lead in the fourth quarter. But missing that one, 39-yarder, it's not necessarily FCS level. That's not automatic.
No,
by any means.
Not at all.
So, but Holy Cross, they fought really hard. They were in it for a long time.
So that means that going forward, we have South Dakota State is
No.
Make sure I get this right.
There you go.
No.
Montana
Montana
State.
is Montana State is going to South Dakota State. This is a revenge match from last year's semifinals,
Mm-hmm.
where South Dakota State went to Bozeman
Yes.
and got their teeth kicked in. So this is going to be gross. And then
Right.
Incarnate Word is going to the Fargo Dome for all the money.
I mean, a San Antonio team going to North Dakota, that's a lot of fun there. I'm glad it's not outdoors because I don't know how the San Antonio team would do outdoors. It would not be, I'm glad it's in the dome.
Oh God, I wanted the outdoors.
If it was like if Incarnate Word had to go to like Bozeman, I don't know how well they would be doing. I feel bad because Incarnate Word upset Sacramento State. That was Sacramento State's first loss of the year. I wish that they would get the home game. But
Right.
you know, they whoever's the higher seed gets the home field advantage.
And then we had Army Navy.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
Y'all, this thing, it started out so rough. We're sitting there, we're going, Army's got like 10 yards of offense through the first half almost.
Mm-hmm.
Navy has managed one field goal. And then, with 1 minute left in the second quarter, Army blocks a punt, scoop score, runs in. Army's up 7-3 at the half with basically no offense. When I say no, I mean like fewer than 100 yards, probably fewer than 50 yards at that point. It was bonkers. The best part was watching the live over-under crater on this game. It started at 33.5 at the end of the week. Maybe at the time of game time, it was 32 on the over-under. And of course, like I said last week, always take the under on this game. 16 years in a row, baby. But I also said that if you took the under and it didn't meet, then you would see something special. And boy, did we see something special. The over-under got as low as 16.5 during the game.
The live over-under, it was ridiculous.
It's 16.5 right before that Army blocked punt.
Yeah.
They've ruined it.
Yeah.
How
But
dare
watching it dive live was beautiful.
This game was almost unwatchably wonderful for the vast majority of it. This really, like, you want to talk about a tradition like no other, this was absolutely it. It just looked like a whole bunch of people just yelling at each other for 3 quarters.
They had to be so nice about it too, because all the commentators were, oh, it's the tradition and the wonder, and all here's a shot from our troops overseas, and here's a shot from people on the space station watching this, and here's a shot, whatever. They were trying to, they had to build all this stuff up because man, nothing else until the first complete pass happened. That was it. That was late in that was mid fourth quarter. Navy completes a pass.
No, I think that was Army, right?
It was the Army who hit the first pass.
Well, Army deployed a little bit of the all pass interference offense for a little bit there.
They did. They were just
that's how they drove to get the game tying field goal. Like they just kept throwing it up, hoping for pass interference. It didn't work on one drive. The next drive, let's do it again. And it works, and it gets them in the field goal range. And that's how they were able to tie the game at 10.
It went. It was 10-10 going into the OT.
Yeah.
And that's when everyone who had the 32 over under started getting a little twitchy because they're like, "Uh-oh, hadn't planned for this."
It was the first overtime game in the history of Navy Army.
There actually haven't even been that many ties in this series. Even back when ties were a thing, there hadn't been that many ties.
No.
And so end up in overtime. Army first play from scrimmage, 25-yard run, longest run of the day. Navy first play from scrimmage, 25-yard pass. Couldn't believe it.
Now we're in double OT, and that's the over.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, everyone's ripping up their betting slips like it's the fucking track, screaming at it. And then Navy fucks up, and they fumble.
What kind of angle was on that pylon cam? That was like Zapruder film level.
It was
the worst
angle.
pylon cam ever. Like,
It
that's
was
so
like
cool.
someone's fucking Logitech webcam from 2008. You know,
It
like
was
6
the
frames a second.
yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
was
say
the
he was down, but we couldn't tell.
Yes.
yeah, it
We
was
couldn't
like
tell.
this was the pinhole camera that I made in Intro to Photography. Like it was horrifically bad. If you told me that they were showing this to us by flipbook, I would have told you I believed you.
What was
Mhm.
that, CBS? Come on, this is Army Navy. Get the good pylon
Get
cam
the
out.
4K. You can't get the
Let's
Listen,
4K
go.
pylon cam out?
Come on.
it's
You
the
show the pylon cam for SEC games, CBS. Army Navy, you cheap out on the pylon cam? Come on.
it's about the tradition of chiseling this frame by frame onto stone tablets.
It's like watching an animated GIF from like back in the day when every 5th frame is missing or something. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
just
jumping around.
We constructed our pylon cam out of old strike photos from World War II.
And then of course, Army hits the field goal in second OT to win the game 20-17. This game was just such a mess. I've never
Mhm.
seen a run game, like everyone's run game just get stopped so dead in their tracks. I don't know how many 3 and outs there were. I'm going to do a quick look to see if I can figure that out. But
So
God,
many.
I mean, Navy's only score was on like one burst run. That was it. There was no first down or anything like that. It was like one giant burst run, breaks free, touchdown, long run, touchdown. And then Army's touchdown, again, block punt, like no sustained offensive drives. I was rooting for a bunch of OTs where they had to do 2-point
yeah, no, I
conversion.
wanted to see
I
that.
wanted to see that. I wanted to see the Army Navy 2-point conversion off. So I was not rooting for it to end in double OT. I wanted to see the just 2-point conversion Army Navy on the 2-yard line, just run, trying to run those 2 yards to get the 2-point conversion. I wanted to see that. I feel bad that the bad pixels of the pylon cam ruined that for us. Maybe next year.
Maybe next
Jordan,
year.
I think I have 11 3 and outs.
That's why I counted 2. Like 11 3 and outs total.
There was
Ugh.
there was graphics. I think there was a graphic. It was like at one point it was like 13 punts in only 12 combined first downs or something.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
It
God.
was so bad.
And you go like, oh, there must have been a ton of turnovers. No, not
No,
really.
no, no, no,
No.
No,
nope.
it was just
I mean, Navy should know better. You don't like this was World War I style trench warfare, and boats have no place in that.
some quick D2 stuff. West Florida at Ferris State. Ferris State rolled 38-17 over the Argonauts. West Florida's coach is going to be going to Towson? I didn't know this.
Just broke. So West Florida lost, and the Argonauts head coach is now going to downpower FCS wise of Towson. So Towson's a little bit outside of Baltimore.
Mhm.
So they used to be a really, really good FCS power, but they've fallen on some hard times, and they fired their coach this year. So now the West Florida coach rolls on up to Towson.
Then Shepherd at Colorado School of Mines. Blaster blasts the Rams 44-13. One of the wildest fucking throws I saw this weekend, by the way,
Oh man,
was the Colorado School of Mines QB getting absolutely like I thought he was throwing it away. And then there's just some Mines receiver in the middle of nowhere, wide
Mhm.
open. I don't know
Yeah.
how he found him.
no idea. I don't know how he didn't go down. And then after he did that, he's like flexing for the
Oh, yeah.
cameras, and I'm like, oh, just totally flexing. They got to go all the way up to Ferris State. So
No, they
oh
don't.
no, I'm sorry, no, they don't. They actually go
No, they
into
don't.
McKinney, right?
McKinney, Texas.
That's right.
So I will be there in my Blaster shirt next Saturday.
Woo!
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Live reporting.
In D3 playoff news, Wartburg at Mount Union. Mount Union wins on some bullshit because they always win on some bullshit. And I fucked up the tweets because I was like, they've won. Oh my God. And then someone was like, hey, fucko. They haven't won yet. And I was like, okay, woo, sorry, just got excited. And then they won. I was like, never wrong, never learn anything, always tweet early. So,
He's like, I'm sorry, it's on the review. That's
I
the
don't
rush. That's
it
again.
is.
You want to be the first person to break the tweet, and because that's what Sickos committee is known for. Breaking
Right.
news. Yes.
Breaking news for D3 playoff talk.
That's us. We got to be the
mean-
first.
We have broken the news, but it doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
I think we need to put something in our profile, like tweets may not always be accurate and
Yeah.
to expect typos, but I think we're out of character.
Mary Hardin Baylor at North Central. North Central avenged their loss in the D3 title game last year by absolutely beating the crap out of Mary Hardin Baylor. So now Mount Union and North Central are going to the Stag Bowl, which this year is in Annapolis, I believe.
North Central 49-14.
Yeah, though they just absolutely.
My God. It is in Annapolis. They're playing in Navy Stadium.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
The Stag Bowl moves around a lot more. Like they play in all sorts of weird ass places. Like you look at the history of the game, they've been all over the place. We're going to start our bowl previews. And we're all fans of the Shutdown Fullcast here, so we didn't want to just do 40 for 40 again. It's hard for us to sit here and go, well, that's something we love. Because if you think about a lot of what we do on here, guys, it's a lot of that same kind of humor of let's find the weird stuff. You know, it's like me and finding all the brand guidelines of all the, the logo stuff. Digging at people's websites and finding like weird ass.
Don't you dare bevel that, Jordan. It said not to.
I beveled that Vaquero, man. I beveled the fuck out of that Vaquero.
Yeah, you did.
So what we're going to do is we're going to play with this a little bit. This past week, I was playing with some AI generation stuff, and I started coming up with AI-generated bowl games. I found a whole list of old bowl game names and some corporation names and some city names, and I said, hey, put that in your gumbo, stir it up, and ladle out some new bowl game names for us. And so we found it, and a lot of our Sickos committee members helped us come up with backstories for these bowls and locations and a whole thing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the game a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll decide, I'll randomly choose an alternate bowl game, and we'll decide whether those teams should take the alternate bowl game or keep the one they currently have. I think do you want to just work on them all together? We'll talk about the game a little bit. Then I'll do it, and then we can, as a group, decide whether we want the team to take the alternate bowl game or not. So starting on our first bowl day, Friday, December 16th, the Bahamas Bowl. UAB with not their new coach against Miami, Ohio, who won that beautiful game where they were like, okay, guys, winner of this game is going to Bahamas, which made for the best 5-6 versus 5-6 MAC game I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. That needs to happen.
Do it
so much more often.
Every year they need to do it somehow. They need to rearrange the games and do that. That was absolutely, it's all on the line for the Bahamas Bowl.
Absolutely.
I love it. Every year, do it again somehow, Matt.
Pick a random game in October and be like, the winner of this game is
that would be really good.
Like, it would be so good.
It's so pro wrestling of just like showing up like, hey, I'm challenging you.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Bahamas Bowl, of course, has the luxury of being in the Bahamas. So it's going to be hard to top that, but let's see what we get. I got my number wheel picker here.
You're going to have to make a sound effect for this.
Yeah apparently I hear a sound effect on my side.
Can you do like the Wheel of Fortune thing?
Oh,
like or maybe the Price is Right wheel spin when they do the spin, or the Wheel of Fortune when you're just spinning the wheel that way too. Like.
So here's our alternate bowl for these teams. Number 19, the Visit Florida Great Lakes Bowl. This takes place in Windsor, Ontario, at the University of Windsor Stadium. Funnily enough, in our little message from the marketing firm that brought you the Bahamas Bowl, sponsored by a Chicago suburb, created in an effort to spread cottage football internationally while staying as close to the U.S. soil as humanly possible, this bowl promptly disappeared in the aftermath of the 2008 housing crash. But they are bringing it back. Are we going to send Miami, Ohio and UAB to Windsor, Ontario, or Nassau, Bahamas?
Feels so mean to do that.
I can't. So I can't. I have to send them to the Bahamas, guys.
I can't. They've already been promised. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do it.
Listen, I could send UAB, but I can't do that to Miami of Ohio. They were so excited. I'm not that heartless.
The idea of sending Trent Dilfer to Windsor, Ontario sounds great, but he's not coaching in this game for UAB. It does sound great there, but...
Did you hear he's going to be around?
He'll be around.
So congrats, Miami, Ohio, UAB. You get to stay in the Bahamas.
You get to stay in the Bahamas. We're too nice here. If we were mean, we'd send you to Windsor, Ontario, to the Great Lakes, Florida.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is
the Visit Florida Great Lakes Bowl.
So it's a bowl. Okay. Thank you, AI, for this one. Love it.
So our next bowl game,
That's too much, man.
Friday, December 16th, the 2 p.m. game. This one, guys, is an absolute banger. This is the Cure Bowl this year with Sunbelt champ Troy and Sunbelt champ UTSA. Conference USA champ UTSA.
Whew.
Like, unironically, this game is great.
Yes.
Plus, this is the Cure Bowl, who actually partners with the best breast cancer research foundation.
Yes.
Not like the pink wash folks.
Yeah.
So this is plus. So I'm going to say no matter what bowl game other option we get, the money still gets to go to breast cancer research. So you can't like back it off and go, well, this one now also gets played in the Orlando Soccer Stadium.
Yes, Exploria Stadium.
Not the Citrus Bowl.
So there's purple seats. I'll just say that.
Yeah, if we move this game, I'm putting the national championship game at the Cure Bowl. Like if we're taking away this matchup, I'm going to give the Cure Bowl as many eyeballs as I humanly can.
Yes. So I'm spinning the wheel here, and let's see what we get. That's going to be number 9. Your other option is the Las Vegas Compatibility Bowl. Las Vegas, Nevada. This takes place in the MGM Grand Marquis Ballroom. Hosted by an Elvis impersonator, every ticket to this bowl comes with a free marriage license to be used in a mass ceremony at halftime. I assume Coach O is going to come do this.
Yes.
It is the MGM Grand Ballroom. We've learned that is a tough place to play basketball. Might be a tight squeeze for football, but I'm willing to believe that our Sickos researchers have done the math here. Clearly. So are we going to send them to the Las Vegas Compatibility Bowl, or are we going to put them in Orlando?
So if the money is staying with like the Cure Bowl, for the cancer research, I'm fine sending them to Vegas. Send them to Vegas. Go. I'm sending them to the ballroom. No punts. No punts, baby.
I'm sending them to Vegas. I want to see how much damage they can do to the ballroom.
I want to see how tall the ceilings are in that room. Give me a sec.
No punts. No punts. No extra points. All for 2. Everything.
Please be a drop ceiling.
Ceiling height is... So it looks like the ceiling height...
They do tell you that it is a pillarless space.
Oh, so there's plenty. Okay, that's good.
Plenty of space.
Looks like our ceiling height is 23 feet to 27 and a half feet. That's a little low. So I'm with you there. We'll send them to Vegas.
It's the cure for the common bowl game.
There we go. Oh, I like that. I'm really excited, by the way, that we get these 2 games on Friday.
Yes.
It's like an amuse-bouche. There's no overlap here. It's kind of perfect. Because then on Saturday, it is a giant cluster of bowl games.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, can I interest you at a 10 a.m. kick from Boston?
Central. 10 a.m. Central, but yeah.
Still.
Okay.
Allegedly
Central.
The Fenway Bowl is supposed to happen.
Allegedly, this bowl is getting played.
Allegedly, the Fenway Bowl will get played for the 3rd time. Third try here.
Third try's the charm.
Yes.
This is Cincy versus Louisville. This is 1 coach, 2 teams. I wish I need him to show up and be lowered in.
I just want him to be the only person on the Green Monster. Like, the Green Monster stands are not open for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I just want him isolated watching both teams on the Green Monster. That's it. He can have a megaphone to yell out plays if he wants to.
I want to see, are they selling Green Monster tickets? Hold up. I'm really curious.
Okay, let's check it out. I want Fenway Bowl tickets. Here we go.
I'm just imagining Satterfield sitting on the Green Monster like Orson Welles and Citizen Kane.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Wait. So I type in Fenway Bowl tickets. The first result is MLB.com.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, is this game happening? Does anyone know?
Oh my god. Let's see here. All right, let's go. Tickets from $45 without fees.
Oh, I see $25.
Okay.
It looks like the Green Monster is not open. So yes, perfect for him. No, it's perfect.
Although yes. Jordan, I do like your idea of lowering him down like to the middle of the field, like put him right on the 50. And how many minor league baseball games have you guys been to?
A
Because I'm
lot.
thinking like make Satterfield do like a dizzy bat race, and whichever direction he staggers in, that's who he's coaching.
Let's see where we are. So we have Fenway, beautiful Boston. Wait, hold up. Oh no, you know what? There are Green Monster tickets available.
Oh yes.
$150
To not be able to see the game.
to
Awesome.
to be behind both the home and visitor sidelines, the furthest seats away from the game.
Yep.
No, you guys are doing this great. Fenway,
It's,
never stop. Wasabi, whoever you are, keep doing
yes.
this.
Apparently, there's some sort of cloud storage, which
Sure.
whatever.
I wanted this to be sponsored by the actual like weird horseradish sauce.
Yes, you get with sushi.
Oh, guys, this one's going to be a tough one. It's number
Okay.
1.
Okay.
This is the Bismuth Bowl. This is played in Sucre, Bolivia, at
Oh.
Estadio Olímpico Patria. I don't know, Beth, if you know anything about this stadium.
I don't. I'm so excited to learn though.
So first, I need to tell you about the stadium because it is a stadium that is one of the highest in the world. Make it the altitude.
I think it's like over 11,000 feet.
This is
Whoa.
a different one.
Okay.
This was only at about 9,000 feet. So still going to be a little rough to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bolivia has one of the world's largest naturally occurring bismuth deposits, which is mined in Bolivia's only mine, the Tasta mine, southwest of Sucre. So we can either send them to Boston or Bolivia. I'm sending them to Bolivia.
Cincinnati, Louisville, you're too close
Yeah.
together. We're gonna send you on a joint vacation to Bolivia.
Yes.
What you want to do with someone you're divorcing is go on a long trip with them to a foreign country where altitude sickness is going to be an issue.
Friends, this is a destination divorce.
Yes. Oh. Where did you go for your divorce? We went to Bolivia.
To Bolivia, right? Oh my God.
So congrats, Cincy, Louisville.
I
You are
hope you
headed
guys
to
have your
Bolivia.
passports.
I hope you guys have your passports, and I hope you guys have started acclimatizing because that game is in 6 days. You're gonna want to go there. You're gonna want to take some deep breaths.
Yeah.
Is it summer down there?
Yes.
Not quite, but almost.
Okay. So it's like spring.
Yeah. Very late spring.
I'm gonna look at what kind of oxygen level we're looking at.
Whew.
Can you oxygenate Skyline Chili just for safety?
So at sea level, there's about 21% oxygen level in the air. At that altitude, it's at 14.8%. So we're talking pretty high. So this is going to be a rough one for them.
Bring
I would
the
start-
oxygen tanks.
Yeah, I'd start acclimatizing about right now. Our next game is the Celebration Bowl. This one is actually on Big ABC at 11 a.m., which is a perfect reason to not watch the Fenway Bowl. Because this game is going to be a lot of fun. Is Dion coaching?
No,
No.
I think he's in Colorado.
I know, but planes exist.
I don't think he's coaching.
I don't know that he'd
did-
be welcome back to coach.
Did God call him to coach this game?
The Celebration Bowl is a continuation of a long line of bowls that were considered to be the HBCU National Championship. The Celebration Bowl itself isn't super old, but this versions of this game have been played for a long time. This game is at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Sorry, the Georgia Dome? How fucking old am I? Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium, yes. The home of the
Atlanta.
Atlanta Falcons, yes. In Atlanta
I was
United.
going to say Atlanta United, but yeah.
Suddenly, I wasn't the only Pennsylvanian on this podcast because we can't give directions to anything without talking about 3 things that haven't been there in 10 years.
I'm excited for this game because
Oh yeah.
I think Jackson State loses this.
Well, they don't have a head coach, so I don't know who's the interim for Jackson State. And I believe their quarterback is gone to Colorado already because it was the coach's son. I don't know how well Jackson State's roster will be for this game.
And this is the same NC Central team
Oh,
that absolutely took it to New Hampshire.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, people gave it was South Carolina State.
Yes.
a bunch of shit for being like, oh, you're going to get blown out in the Celebration Bowl, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't. And that was against a full strength Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
I think North Carolina Central just absolutely whoops butt on this one. I'd be excited for that.
We'll see.
Do you guys look
This
at the
is gonna be
line on
fun.
this thing? Caesars has this at Jackson State as a 16-point favorite.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh my God, hammer!
Okay.
Not quote unquote, not betting advice. Not betting advice. Not betting advice.
Don't do
Holy
the betting
crap.
advice with him, but okay.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. We need to.
Your over under in this one is 56 points.
Next year, we need to keep track of my shitty bets.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be really excited the fact that I'm going to come out like really bad at the end of the season. Our other option to send these two teams instead of Atlanta, guys, is to the Big Bear Bowl.
The Big Bear Bowl.
This is in Missoula, Montana, at Washington Grizzly Stadium. Played at the home of the Montana Grizzlies, this bowl game is unique in that it invites two of the highest ranking teams in the countries to fight bears. I think I'm going to leave them in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that to them. This is a national championship game, I will say.
Yeah.
We don't need to have them in Montana for this one. No, it doesn't. No, let's leave them in Atlanta.
We only put national championship games in Pocatello.
That's right.
Never forget.
It was a dome.
The wrong way dome.
The wrong way dome in Pocatello.
Next game, the Las Vegas Bowl. Florida versus Oregon State. An Oregon State that is very much on the up and a Florida that is very much on the...
This feels wrong for Oregon State. This just feels bad for them. Like they're 9-3.
I look at this and I'm like, yeah.
They got to play 6-6 Florida in Vegas, which Vegas is not a bad destination, but it doesn't feel. I don't know. I feel like Oregon State should be in a better bowl game.
Yeah, like you guys had a better year than this. You don't deserve this.
This is part of the problem with this bowl used to be like a middling Pac-12 team versus the Mountain West champion.
Yeah.
And because they bumped it up to like a nice stadium, they've decided that they need like SEC, but they're still low enough that they get Florida.
Yeah, so this is like the Vegas Bowl used to be Mountain West versus Pac-12. Now this year it's Pac-12 versus SEC. Next year it's Pac-10. I'm sorry, Pac-12. Sorry, I got ahead of myself on the Pac-10 thing. Versus Big Ten. So next year is Pac-12 versus Big Ten. Like, it does not feel right to do this. I'm like, you have... I see what they're trying to do. Hey, we got a nice new stadium here that looks like a Roomba. We would like to have some nice name brand teams in the stadium for a bowl game.
This is very much like the Pac-12 is very much Scott Bakula in this game, and he's just quantum leaping back into this game year after year.
Can I say I'm super excited to have an SEC team play a Pac-12 team?
Well, I mean, Florida already played one this year.
Ooh.
Come on, jog your memory. Let's go. First week of the season.
We were so young then.
We were. We had way less followers, and we were just starting our podcast.
It wasn't Oregon. It wasn't Oregon.
No,
that was
no,
Georgia.
No. Your mind is slowly starting to rise.
Utah.
There it is.
It was Utah.
That's right. Florida won that game due to a Utah interception in the end zone at the end. Yes. That's one of those games we're going to look back and dissect a little bit further.
The SEC is staying at the Mandalay Bay.
Mm.
The Pac-12 are staying at the Virgin Hotel.
Okay.
I do not know that one.
Is there like Richard Branson, like Virgin Airlines Hotel?
Yeah, like that kind of Virgin. Yeah.
Okay.
You put the beavers in the Virgin Hotel.
Yes, you did.
I like that.
At least it wasn't the Luxor. They won't hit their head. They'll have helmets though. Maybe they can.
That's true. Just slamming their heads.
The next time I go to Vegas, I'm bringing a helmet.
That's right. We'll get you one.
The alternate bowl we could send them to is the Red Cabbage Bowl. This is in Galway, Ireland, at Perth Stadium. Let's find out what kind of stadium Perth Stadium is. Perth Stadium is, it's a Gaelic football stadium.
Okay.
Ooh.
The story behind it. Captain Carl Cabbage Babbage was the last of the great Irish pirates known for smuggling fresh produce between Halifax and Galway during the early 1800s. This game, nicknamed the Galway Gasparilla, honors his exploits. So there we go. We can send him to the Red Cabbage Bowl in Galway, Ireland, or we can leave him in Vegas. We already put a bowl in Vegas.
Okay, we'll move that bowl. They're going to Ireland.
Okay, so you're moving these guys to Ireland?
I'm sending them to Ireland. Let's go. I want
What do
Florida Gators fans in Ireland.
You know what? I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, that's a
Sold.
really compelling case.
That's super
But
compelling.
here's the thing, you don't tell them the game was moved to Ireland, you just swap out their plane tickets and then have them land fish out of water style.
Yes, exactly. I think that's how we should all do these. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, your bowl game has been
Yeah.
changed. You tell
Yeah.
them halfway on the flight, "Hey, we've had to make an emergency landing, and we redirected your flight to, and your bowl game is going to be in Ireland now." I would love to see the interaction between Florida man and Irish man.
By the way, the city of Galway only has 83,000 people in it. So when
Yes,
Florida shows up to that, it's going to be big. Can I say that under your idea of just changing it mid-flight, I want to picture the Louisville and Cincinnati teams flying over the Gulf.
this flight is taking a little bit longer than what we
They're
thought.
like, Lake Erie's way bigger than I thought.
Yeah, this is very strange.
No, just kidding.
Was that Panama?
One of the offensive linemen is like, guys, come on, it's the Isthmus of Connecticut.
Yes. Everyone knows that Connecticut is isthmus.
I don't know if mid-flight will work with that one.
No, but it's no. That one you gotta tell them when they get there.
Yeah,
That one you
that's
can't be
even
mid-flight. You have to be like you do the rude thing of like it's rude to open up your windows on flights when people are trying to sleep.
That's
So
right.
just like everyone leave it down. It's fine. It's a long flight. Whatever.
They don't need to have the planes with the trackers that show where they're flying either.
No.
That's right.
Next up, 2:30 on ABC is the LA Bowl, the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. If Jimmy Kimmel can get a bowl game named after him, we absolutely fucking can. We have to be able to get Jimmy Kimmel money. Come on.
Can you explain to me how Nike hasn't sued these people yet for putting an upside down swoosh in their logo?
It's pretty egregious.
I want to say that I feel like this started all out as a joke because Jimmy Kimmel thought there were too many bowl games.
Yeah.
And this actually became a bowl game. But then it's like
that's fine. Like that's
fine. That's a great Sickos beginning of a bowl game. It's a great backstory. Let's go with it. But now it's like LA's only bowl game. So now it seems like they're trying to really let's go. We got the Mountain West versus the Pac-12, the Mountain West champion versus like somebody in the Pac-12. It's gonna be a great game. And so they're trying to back into like a great bowl because they have this giant brand new stadium and they need something to put in it.
Are you saying that the Rose Bowl is not an LA Bowl?
No, I'm saying Pasadena. That's different.
Okay.
How far is Pasadena from LA?
It's a ways. Depends on like everything. Depends on traffic.
Yeah, are you driving there
True.
6 months?
Yeah, I mean, you could take the 405, but then, you probably get stopped by the 10 traffic. I don't know my highway, sorry.
I feel like if you're driving around California, anything can turn into a Donner Party situation real fast.
Yeah. I found out something about California I didn't realize. If you're going from Southern California to Northern California, like on Interstate 5, there is like one pass that everyone has to go through.
Oh.
That if it snows,
oh god,
there's just no way through. And so apparently you have to like call ahead and check to see if the pass, or it used to be, you had to like call ahead and check if the pass was open. Because if it wasn't, you had to go like 100 miles out of your way to get around it.
I mean, the Appalachians may be small mountains, but we have similar problems here. There's a mountain that if it closes, I can't get home. It happened last year.
Y'all, we have another bowl that they could possibly go to.
Well, who's playing first?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Fresno State and Washington State. Fresno State with Jake Hayner, who's just be a ton of fun, and Washington State, who's having a normal year, which for them must feel just like very relaxing. So our alternate bowl for them, instead of going to LA, is the Fisher-Price Crime Stoppers Bowl.
Ooh.
This is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at University Stadium.
Okay.
Because Crime Stoppers was founded in Albuquerque.
It was.
And the only thing our sicko who wrote this up said, I don't think there's any information that can improve on the absolutely perfect bowl name. So the Fisher-Price Crime Stoppers Bowl, I assume that instead of beautiful Zia Pueblo pottery, you get little Fisher-Price figurines for your trophies. Right. So are we sending them to LA or Albuquerque?
I'm sending them to Albuquerque, and I'm going to say that the winner of this game is going to get the Little Tykes Cozy Coop.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
Oh,
Commish?
I don't know. Like, I'm not really attached to the LA Bowl because it's only its second year.
You've got to at least make Fresno leave the state.
That's true. Fresno does need to leave the state. It doesn't always happen for like Florida-based teams, though, or Texas-based teams
Right.
either. Yeah.
It doesn't always happen, but I would argue that it should.
Would Wazoo prefer to be associated with the Fisher-Price Crime Stoppers Bowl,
Mhm.
or would they rather be big-time LA Party? I'm gonna keep them in LA. I'm gonna keep them in LA. I don't
So
want to
I
do
have
it.
a, I have a tiebreaker on this one then.
Yes, you do. You do.
I'm going to send him to Albuquerque. I'm sending him to Albuquerque because I feel like, one, New Mexico needs a second bowl game. And two, the idea of putting these two teams that are like Pacific, or like sort of like Pacific-ish Northwest teams, and putting them the sort of the desert-ish Southwest makes me very happy. I enjoy that. So there we go. Congratulations on your flight to LA. You will be diverted to Albuquerque International.
Sorry. They took a left turn in Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, folks. All right, that's the end of the podcast. No.
Next, on Saturday the 27th, Saturday the 17th, because we have so many bowls that day.
Oh, yes.
Including the D2 championship game at noon, is the Lending Tree Bowl. Now, if you're like me and you can never remember what game this one was,
yeah,
the former names of this game have been
the GMAC Bowl.
Yeah, this was the Mobile Alabama Bowl, the GMAC Bowl. The GMAC Mobile Alabama Bowl, the GMAC Bowl, the GoDaddy.com Bowl.
Hey, say that right. It's Mobile.
Mobile?
Don't say
not
mobile.
mobile? It's not mobile?
It's Mobile, Alabama.
Is it really?
Yes. Yeah, it's not the spinny thing you put in a baby crib.
You mean to tell me your whole life you were calling it Mobile, Alabama?
I haven't had to say it that often in my life.
Well, I mean, I grew up in New Orleans. It was like less. It was like 2 hours away. It's Mobile.
It's not. Wait,
do not give him this out. I live in Pennsylvania.
Come on.
Wait, you're not fucking with me though, right?
No! I am not. No, you're leaving this in, by the way. It's Mobile.
It's mobile.
No.
No.
Mobile?
Mobile. Yes.
Mobile.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's the GMAC Mobile Alabama Bowl.
Yes.
Mobile? Mobile.
Are you doing like a real life Alabama versus England thing here?
It's like I swear to you, I've always called it mobile.
Oh man. Oh god, you just angered the entire city of Mobile, Alabama.
No, I made Mobile, Alabama very happy.
No, Mobile is like a motor oil, all right? That's
Wait, so the motor oil is mobile.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Good to know that one.
You just
Commish, I'm so sad. Man. We had such a good chance to gaslight Jordan here and we didn't take it.
Oh my god.
Okay, huh. You learn new things every day, guys.
Oh no, I just shocked that he didn't know that. Like, I swear you said earlier on a podcast when you were talking about South Alabama. Oh, you didn't call him Southern Alabama.
I didn't call him Southern Alabama. If I did it, I probably did it because you'd said it and I just like repeated it back. But definitely, like when I just looked at it right now, it was the GMAC Mobile Alabama Bowl. Sponsored by Mobile Phone Warehouse.
Sponsored by Mobile One. No.
This is also the GoDaddy Bowl and also the Dollar General Bowl.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened with that one. Like, Dollar General had it for 3 years.
This is played at Lad People's in Mobile.
No. It used to be at Lad People's. Now it's at Hancock Whitney, the brand new stadium.
Oh, it's right. It's the new stadium, yes.
South Alabama, the Jaguars.
In this game, we have, guys, this is low-key my favorite game on for the first day of bowls.
For sure.
Bowls.
This is like
Rice versus Southern Miss.
This is the Sickos Bowl right here. I mean, you get a 6-6 bowl in the Bahamas, but this one you get 5-7 Rice and 6-6 Southern Miss. really, Rice gets in this game because their grades, which I
And
mean
so
they should. It's
yeah,
Rice.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, you would think, right? And then Southern Miss with their crazy quarterback situation at all times. This is kind of a big thing for Southern Miss too, because they they're trying to get their program back on their feet, and as their coach says, program. You gotta say it,
program.
Hattiesburg style.
Rice also has one of my favorite quarterbacks, TJ McMahon, Detmer Darling, who just likes to fucking throw it. Wherever it goes, doesn't really matter. And like I said, Southern Miss may play 4 different quarterbacks. Who knows? Maybe have 4 different guys
Superback,
throw the ball.
Superback Frank Gore starting at quarterback. Who knows?
Who knows?
Frank Gore Jr. I'm sorry.
We have them going to Mobile.
You're saying it right now, and it sounds
It's
worse.
it's also weird. He's just like, "Are you sure?" He's still like he said it with a
Mobile.
question mark. Mobile? Are you sure?
So the other bowl option we have for them is something called the Gasconuts Gasconcil Bowl in Miami Gardens, Florida at Hard Rock Stadium. Gasconuts is a green energy company creating oil and gasoline from coconuts. Their newest product is gas conceal, which they claim to produces no emissions. Unfortunately, it also makes an extremely high amount of carbon emissions to produce. So we have the Gasconuts Bowl in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami,
Miami.
or we leave them in Mobile.
Oh, I don't know. In Mobile, they do have the opportunity to visit the battleship, the USS Alabama, which is docked there, which is great to go check out if you're ever in Mobile, which it's a little bit of an underrated city. I will say that. It's fun to spend maybe 2 or 3 days there. I don't know about living there. It's a little bit different. It's right on the Gulf Coast. It's not too far away from the beach compared to Miami Beach. I think Miami Beach has an advantage. I will just say that. So I feel like Rice and Southern Miss players would all vote to go to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say let's send them to Miami.
Beth,
I feel bad punishing Southern Miss for this, but I feel like Rice needed to get in for their playing and their grades if they wanted to be able to pick where they're going. I'm keeping them in Mobile.
Ooh.
it's going to be a 3-way tie because I'm putting them in Mobile.
Is that a real city somewhere else?
I don't know.
Let's Google that. Is there some place called Mobile?
Are we doing a pronunciation search?
I don't see anything else called Mobile.
There's a Mobile City, Texas.
So we're gonna send them. It's not Mobile City.
I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna read this. Hold up. No, do you know who you can ask? Actually, it's near Rockwall. We can ask Jay Arnold because he's from there.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I bet you it's named Mobile City. Here's why.
Yeah.
Oh,
Originally a mobile home park on the outside of the city limits, it was incorporated so that beer, wine, and liquor store could open.
Yeah, that's
It consists of a mobile home park, a liquor
Okay.
store, and a
done,
convenience
done.
store.
That's right. Did you think
So-
the city was named after like mobile homes in Mobile, Alabama? Mobile.
I don't know. That's what was it named after?
Jebediah Mobile.
A group called the Mobile Tribe, apparently. So I did not know that. Again, I'm learning things. I learned so many things.
Wow.
At 6:30 p.m., the New Mexico Bowl, BYU versus SMU in
Oh.
Albuquerque.
Oh, what a game!
I know this is also another one on the first day that's going to be an absolute banger.
Oh, what a
Mhm.
game!
SMU.
I love the New Mexico Bowl. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like the trophy here is one of the best, if not the best.
Mm-hmm.
The pottery that they do for this trophy, and they hand paint it. Also, like the leather shields for the players, like the MVPs, the offensive and defensive MVPs. This oh man, when you said you wanted to put a second bowl in New Mexico, yeah, I agree with you on that. But yeah, this game is so great, and both of these teams are all offense, and really not much defense. Like SMU averaged 38 points a game, BYU averaged 32 points a game. SMU's defense gave up 34 points a game. BYU's defense gave up about 30, almost 31 points a game.
Oh God.
So
Yes.
I
Hammer
feel
the
like,
over.
oh my God. And then, I mean, SMU scored 77 earlier this year. Oh man, this is going to be a lot of fun, I think. I think this is going to be a good one.
I'm excited to see if BYU, because BYU's clearly had a disappointing season compared to what they wanted it to be. Like this is not what they wanted. I'm excited to see if SMU can keep up the pace because remember SMU played in that fucking crazy Houston game.
Yeah.
But then SMU's had a couple times when they just like someone has stopped them in their tracks. So I'm interested to see if what kind of game this is going to be.
Yeah. SMU's a slight favorite. Your over-under for this one is 68.5.
Woo.
Ooh.
So if they score 69, it's over. That's very nice.
Our other place to put this team.
All right. Spin the wheel.
Here we go. We could send them to the Casio Calculator Watch Bowl in Dallas, Texas. The stadium is the parking lot across from the TI headquarters. The story. In 2006, Casio president wanted to, quote, make a splash and, quote, show those Texas Instrument calculator dweebs what for. To help not only propel the Casio watch brand, but to also rub it in TI's nose the fact that Casio's watches were better. The president declared the intent to form the Casio Calculator Watch Bowl during a press conference that was held in the parking lot across from TI's headquarters. When one reporter from the Dallas Observer asked where the bowl game would be played, the president, obviously flustered, stammered and responded saying, right here, right where you stand. And true to the word, this game has been played at that site ever since. TI employees, instead of being spurned by Casio's blatant slight against them, actually very much enjoy having a bowl game so near to their work. TI Instruments, TI, will usually have a company picnic on the hill overlooking the parking lot to watch the game. And in case of inclement weather, they will have a company party in conference room 23C that has a sight line to the parking lot and access to ESPN News, the Casio Calculator Watches Bowl TV partner. So are we sending them to Albuquerque or Dallas?
Man, I'm keeping them in Albuquerque.
I have to keep them in Albuquerque.
I cannot send them to play in a parking lot. The Casio Calculator Watch Bowl.
SMU just like having to like just drive across town though is very,
and then play in a parking lot right across from Texas Instruments headquarters.
It's a big building. I drive past it like twice a week. It's huge.
Big parking lot?
Oh yeah, plenty of space. And the last one that is near and dear to my heart because I will be there. The Frisco Bowl.
Frisco.
Boise State and North Texas. North Texas gets to sleep in their own beds, which is nice. Boise State gets to celebrate a season that went a lot better than they thought it was, than it looked like it was going to. Frisco, of course, is in Texas and known for being one of the world's largest, fastest growing cities. Their main export are high schools because they have way too many of them. So our other option is number 14. The Chain Reaction Century Mall Walgreens American Coast Bowl. This is in Rosemont, Illinois at Allstate Arena. It's a multi-purpose arena that can best be described as being adjacent to Chicago and O'Hare Airport. Chicago has also been known as the American Coast, and this game celebrates that heritage. This arena also apparently hosts ice hockey and arena football. So I'm going to declare that we're playing arena rules if we move them here.
Arena rules if we move that, right? Okay.
Yeah. I'm moving to Rosemont. I'm moving to Illinois.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know how we're going to convince North Texas that they need to fly to their bowl game so we can then send them to the wrong place, but
like we're just going to take you up in a little like short. We're going to take you up in a Cessna and fly you around for a little bit.
Yes, this is part of the Frisco Bowl. We do a flyover.
Yeah, we're going to have you parachute down.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely.
And then they land in Rosemont. This is going to be great.
I love how this randomly generated bowl game basically matched the Frisco Bowl, essentially, what the Frisco Bowl is. Mm-hmm. The Chain Reaction Century Mall, Walgreens, American Coast Bowl. I love this AI stuff. I want to know what you threw into this to make the couple.
That's
Rosemont,
always
Illinois.
The best question is always on all of these is always like clearly it's garbage in, garbage out. What garbage did I throw in the disposal to get this? It's great.
You both have already voted for Rosemont, so my vote is null and void at this point. since we have 3 to break the tie.
What were you gonna vote for? You gonna leave him in Frisco?
No, they're going to Illinois. Let's just send them to Illinois. I mean, Frisco's got enough bowls. They got enough stuff going on already. I feel like they have. I don't know.
The Classic's not there this year. There's no Classic.
No, but I feel like they have there's so much stuff in that area. There's like so many bowl games in that area already, and then there's like the D2 championship around. There's too much. Let's let Illinois host one.
I agree.
But it's arena style football, definitely. I would love North Texas, Boise State arena football.
Wouldn't that be just like the most fun? All the pre-snap motion.
Just done. You have 3 weeks to learn how to play arena football. Go.
I feel like giving SMU that kind of latitude. Wow, guys.
On Monday, December 19th, we have the Myrtle Beach Bowl in Conway on the surf turf.
Surf turf.
Marshall versus UConn. Is this ever a Big East matchup? Was Marshall in the Big East, or am I just imagining things? I don't think Marshall was ever in the Big East.
I don't think Marshall was ever in the Big East, no.
This is one of our baby bowls. This one, I'm just excited for UConn to like go to a bowl game, do their thing. Marshall had a weird year. They beat Notre Dame, and then not a whole lot else.
Am I the only one who thinks that the logo of this looks like a football that's turning into the ship from Flight of the Navigator?
It does look like a football ship, I'll say that.
It's got that weird, like, emerging from the ocean.
It kind of looks a little bit like a shell, too. Like, almost like a blue shell from Mario Kart or something like that. Or a red shell.
What is that?
That's the ship from the Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, no, sure. I totally get you then, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Conway, South Carolina, or number 39, the Satsuma Bowl in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh my God.
Hancock Whitney Stadium.
Mobile, Alabama, yes. I want to know, like, if we need to clip you just talking about the pronunciation of Mobile and put that on a preview on a tweet, because this is hilarious. This is so great. The Satsuma Bowl.
That's going to be the new theme song for this podcast. It's just going to be Jordan saying Mobile a million different ways and me accompanying him on jaw harp.
Perfect.
Named after the local citrus fruit that Jesuits brought from Asia to North America in the 18th century, starting groves the Jesuit plantation upriver from New Orleans, Louisiana, then a part of New Spain. It is hosted in Mobile, since New Orleans stole Mardi Gras from Mobile, and this bowl game is the form of revenge by Mobile citizens. Did I hit it right?
I mean, I don't know how much more sarcastic a pronunciation of Mobile can be.
This is what happens whenever someone in my extended family or someone in my wife's family starts saying that I say the word pen and pen the same, and to get it to sound different, I have to go like pin and pan. I have to really overdo it to get the I and the E to sound different.
If I didn't know for a fact that game existed in this spreadsheet, I would swear that you had like surreptitiously typed it in so you could say this.
That wasn't my fault.
Actually, this was not AI generated. This game was all me. So this was one of my suggestions. Satsumas are one of my favorite fruits that I would always eat growing up.
I do love a good satsuma.
They're amazing, and you only get them in fall.
This
so like
is not
October,
a fruit that I know.
November. No, it's a really, really hyper local thing.
And I'm very excited. New fruit just dropped.
Yeah, it's really good. And most of the time they're seedless. So you could just I could eat like 5 or 6 of these like they're nothing, and they're so easy to peel. They're amazing.
That's the best part about them. You don't have to like.
Yeah, they're so easy. Yeah, I mean, most of the times they look like they're green on the outside, but then when they get more and more ripe, they turn orangish. And it's really, oh man, they're amazing. Let's stop talking about the fruit.
We send him to Conway or Mobile.
Whew. I mean, I feel like that's.
Those are pretty close.
I know. I was like, very close. So this is going. I don't know. I feel like there's more golf courses for Jim Moore Jr. I do like the surf turf, like the teal turf. aspect.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to take it away from there. I think I'm gonna keep him in Myrtle Beach.
Beth?
I want to move him to Mobile.
Okay.
I just do.
We're a mobile focused podcast.
We really are.
Oh
Mostly
my
because now I desperately want to try this fruit.
I think I'm gonna keep him in Conway because there's more mini golf there.
More mini golf.
There
More
is.
mini golf, more laser tag,
Yes.
and more knife stores.
I don't know, man.
Oh, that's pretty close, probably. You're right.
Mobile. We'll see. It is South Alabama.
On Tuesday, December 20th at 2:30 p.m., we have the rematch that everyone has been waiting for.
That's right.
We are relitigating the 1987 California Bowl, Eastern Michigan, San Jose State. The more I watch different versions of that, like different recordings of that game, the different commercials I pick up, and the commercials are all great. I'm going to drop a thread with just 80s commercials in it.
Those commercials are phenomenal. And
God,
this is
they're
the
good.
only time they've ever played each other.
Yes.
That was it. That was the only time they ever played each other. Eastern Michigan, San Jose State. Only time they've ever played each other was in the 1987 California Bowl. Apparently,
Listeners,
the ending.
we are talking about the Idaho Potato Bowl right now.
We are.
I know
That's
that
right, yeah.
wasn't clear.
Wasn't clear. We are talking about the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, as full cast legend Holly Anderson says. It is the only bowl with chives in its logo.
We have this game in Boise. Let's see where else we can put these guys.
Okay.
The
Blue
spreadsheet
turf.
better come up with something great.
We need something good here. I mean, I am basically bought off by, the deep pockets of Big Potato here. So this is gonna be tough.
It's going to be tough.
Very tough to get me to move it out of Boise.
Yeah, overcoming Big Spud takes a lot.
It's tough. It's not the King Spud, but it is Big Spud.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to remove this choice.
Oh,
34. Oh, this
34.
isn't going to make it. The Casa Bonita Colorado Bowl. Denver, Colorado, Mile High Stadium. Named after the famous Mexican restaurant popularized in the South Park episode. Never going to happen.
No,
No.
we're staying in Boise. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
no, we're
God.
very local Casa Bonita.
And I love sopapillas.
Yeah, I do. Raise the flag, you get more of them. But, I mean, are they going to dump sopapillas on the game-winning coach like they
That
do
might be
fries
fun.
here in the
I'm
potato
pretty
bowl?
sure we just decided that we're going to put our sopapillas in a potato.
A sopapilla potato. A potato sopapilla.
I can't do. No, I am in the bag for Big Potato. I love this. It's a cold weather bowl game. It's on a blue turf. There's just ridiculous amounts of potatoes involved. I have this image burned in my head of a Utah State fan in this bowl game, like 7-8 years ago, eating a raw potato
Yeah.
in the stands. Like just
Yeah.
eating a raw potato in the stands. This game is very, I don't know. I love this one. And when the potato bowl is going on, we are eating themed potato dishes for dinner to celebrate Potato Bowl Day.
See, that's Tuesday, December 20th.
Yes.
My calendar, I think, is clear most of that day. So yeah, no, I will be live eating lots of starch that day.
Live eating potatoes. I think we have the official Idaho brand frozen potatoes. We're gonna go.
Or Ida.
Oh no,
Nice.
there's an official Idaho
Okay.
brand. Yes, no Ida. No.
The last one is the Boca Raton Bowl. Is
Boca.
Cheribundi still the thing?
No, I think the new sponsor is
Roof claim.
Oh, it's Roof Claim
Claim.
again.
That's right. Roof Claim is back, baby. That's right. The Roof Claim American Conference Championship game, and now it is the Roof Claim Boca Raton Bowl. I love how they're in both locations that have been hit by hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
like
wish
they
this
were
was
in,
still the Marmot Bowl. I loved that.
The what is Marmot?
it was at 2015.
Yeah, it was
The
sponsored
Marmot
by
Bowl.
Marmot.
What is
Yeah.
what is Marmot?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's an animal.
Okay, yeah, but I assume like a Marmot Rescue is not sponsoring the bowl.
All right, Marmot
outdoor
says
clothing.
it's outdoor clothing.
Okay, so it's like Duluth and those guys. Okay,
Like inspire new adventures, give the gift of gear that keeps on giving to the everyday adventure.
Yeah. Would you like to come to Boca Raton and have a puffy jacket?
That's right. Do
Oh,
you
it's so
want
sweaty, so
insulated?
sweaty.
Do you want insulated and down sleeping bags? How about some accessories to go with your cross country skis?
I'd have to have go when I get some cross country skis. Yes, absolutely. I'll need some accessories.
This is exactly the kind of thing. Like, that's the thing. I wish this was still Marmot, because that's the kind of thing our AI generator would have come up with.
Yeah, right. So this is which I'll bleep, and Toledo.
Oh,
Toledo, who had a wild year, won the MAC,
oh yeah.
and as a gift gets to go to Boca.
I mean, that's not bad. Toledo to Boca. I mean,
No, I'm sure they're going to have a great time, except for the fact that they're stuck with bleep that.
yes.
I'd
Bleep,
I'd
bleep,
I'd
bleeperty.
rather go to the Bahamas if I won the MAC.
Mhm.
Just saying.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
feel like they have that extra weekend they can't get the passport.
Yeah, I guess that's
But
the problem.
I think they need to do that. Like whoever clinches the MAC championship, if you do that early, like have both teams go get their passports, and
Yeah.
whoever wins the MAC championship goes to the Bahamas.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yes.
Because wouldn't you? Yeah, the idea of the Bahamas Bowl being like the jewel for winning the MAC is brilliant. Because you have so many teams playing in shitty weather that time of year. It's cold, it's gray, and then you get to go to Bahamas. Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like Boca's fine. Spinning the wheel for our alternate location.
Okay. I can't wait to hear what wheel noise you sound you come up with.
It'll be something that's super annoying. I promise you.
Okay. Well, don't
Especially
don't
with
do
the 90 seconds of silence.
This is the Larry's Cactus Bowl. This is played in Dubuque, Iowa at Dalzell Field. Named for local legend Larry, quote, the Fork Jones, who swore that he had a cactus growing behind his root cellar in 1852. At the time, no one in Dubuque had ever seen a cactus, so people came from miles around to view this strange growth. Eventually, a mold was taken from the marvelous plant and cast in bronze. The statue adorned the town hall and earned the city the nickname the Mojave of Iowa. The inaugural game of the Larry's Cactus Bowl was set to coincide with the 70th anniversary of the first Cactus Day Festival and featured the 1926 editions of Arizona and New Mexico State. The teams arrived at the height of the festival and were stunned at the bronze cast of what appeared to be a hat rack covered in barbed wire. After some tense conversations, Arizona back Franklin Beanie Caruso produced his comfort saguaro that he always traveled with, and the mayor hastily ended the festivities. The game was played, the statue disappeared in the middle of the fourth quarter, and it was never spoken of again. So, Boca or Iowa?
Man, this is a really tough choice.
I'm torn here. Let me walk you through my thinking.
Okay.
Toledo.
Yes.
Deserves something great for being, for winning the MAC. He does not.
Yep.
True.
Let's see. What is Dalzell Field? Over Clark University. It's a cute little stadium.
It also was around at the dates that I invented.
That's, of course it did. Of course it is, because of course you sourced your
You got to be accurate. We're the Sickos here. We got to be accurate.
Absolutely.
It's not as funny unless it's true.
I do my best research at 3 a.m. Everyone knows this.
All my best papers.
Yes. Same.
I'm sending them to Iowa.
Is there a way we can send their former coach with them?
I'm going to say yes. In fact, I'm going to make you an even better deal on this one, guys.
Okay.
I'm going to say that you can send one team one place and one team the other, and they'll just scrimmage themselves.
Perfect. Sold.
So, Toledo, I hope you enjoy Boca. I hope you enjoy Iowa with Hugh Freeze.
Imagine that. Liberty stuck playing with themselves.
Oh.
Mwah. Okay,
Y'all
folks.
Y'all both voted for Iowa, so I am out of this.
What do you have a you're just gonna pass on this in general. Got it.
No, I agree with what you're saying. One team goes to Iowa. We're gonna send Toledo just vacation for Toledo.
Yeah.
They don't need to play.
Yeah.
You get a free vacation to Boca. Yeah, you get a vacation. We'll make the other team go to Iowa and have to play with themselves.